everybody, I'm the Pigglesworth. Welcome back to Decidedly Vanilla. Gotta figure out what button to hit there so we can swap over. Son, no. Why? So we are over here at the base area. I think this is where we last episode where we last left off. Pigglesworth was at the base getting ready to do base-like things. I noticed something. That looks like a mouth and nostrils and eyes. Like a giant mouth for a dragon or something. That hit me. I was like, whoa, faces. So I'm over here. I've done a little bit of experimentation. Now, I've had a bit of an issue with my own personal router at home for the past week or so. So it's been very difficult for me to get connected to the internet and get online. I almost didn't get Monday's episodes for the MHC and Decidedly Vanilla uploaded. So, you know, thank you, internet, for cooperating. Everybody got to see last episode. Go ahead and slap this bed down right here. There's nobody on the server, so sleep is going to go by super fast. I love it. I wish that sleep normally went this fast, even with people, but I guess we can't have everything, right? But yeah, I've been doing some planning off camera and offline, actually, setting up all these roads and setting up a wall and stuff that's going to go right here, and I have figured out angles for roads. I've gotten this thing to finally work. Now, we did the 45 and the 90-degree roads from that circle up to here. I think it looks good. This is a little bit of an eyesore, but it is nothing like the 40-degree angle eyesores that we had. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch previous episode, and you'll see what in the world I'm talking about. So I have got 9 different sections going to 9 different angles for a 9-sliced pie circle city. And that right there. Okay, so Magpie Tier had posted in last video. He said, hey, buddy, you know what you should do? You should save that cockroach and you should name it Fred. I'm not quite certain what the Fred reference is. There's a couple things I can think of. I know there was somebody that used to do YouTube stuff named Fred, and he did his voice really fast like this. Oh my gosh, he talked really fast, and it was just a gimmick so he could get himself on YouTube. Nobody else did. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah. So I don't know if it's that. There was also an old movie that MTV Studios put out about some guy that lived with a bunch of cockroaches, and they talk like this as well. Hi, how you doing, buddy? And they were his best friend. That might have been it. I don't know. But we're going to have to move this guy. He's blocking the road. Sir, you look like... Are these brake lights or are these eyes? But I'm going to move this guy. But I think I know what I'm going to do with him. I'm going to move him down underneath the city. Like I said, we want the top of the dystopia city to look very different than the underside. The underside's allowed to look dirty and grungy and mix-matched and just a mess. So I think I'm going to get this guy and I'm going to rebuild him underneath. But I'm going to do like... That is weird. Like I can see it trying to render the water through those waterlogged blocks. That's a little ugly and annoying. Fix it, Mojang. Fix your game, please. But yeah, we're going to do something tricksy with this guy where, like what cockroaches really do. But I'm going to move him down there. But I haven't gotten around to doing that. I have been experimenting with this. So I've got the 40-degree roads working, which is just absolutely awesome. And I'm going to try and see if I can figure out a way to show everybody how I did this, so that if you want to do builds like this as well, you can do this. So once I figured out the 40-degree angle trick, I have been using this trick to help me plan out more stuff. So what we need to be building around here is going to be these big gates with these big archways. And this is the first time I've ever done this, where I tried to make archways on angles. Yeah, it's a little bit tricksy. It took me a minute to kind of wrap my brain around it. And the other thing is, I'm used to building everything so perfect and symmetrical. You can't do that with a build like this. This has to be slightly more organic. You have to kind of let go of everything being perfect. So here's an example. So these little segments in the wall, there are 1, 2, 3, and then a polished andesite. 1, 2, 3, polished andesite, and that just repeats. But like right here, I couldn't do 1, 2, 3 anymore because we got to have one of these little gate tower things go right here. So it just butts up against it, and it is what it is. And like this outline that I've got, this outline is perfect. And then we get to right here where it doesn't diagonal. But it's okay. It's okay. You know what I could do? This doesn't actually have to be like that. There, it's perfect. We fixed it. Things have been fixed. Things were broken, but now they're fixed. But see, like this kind of juts out and gets in the way. This border is actually supposed to be where these two blocks are. So I had to kind of let that go. I had to let that mentality go. And once I did, and using the methods that I've been using off camera, it is successful at being able to make this. So yeah, that is going to be totally, totally awesome. Now, I do not have anywhere near the amount of materials that I think I need to build this wall. This wall is ridiculous in the amount of materials it's going to take, and it's going to take even more materials to build the extra stuff that I want to go for it. But this road right here, okay, I'm clicking to move my hand and I can't see it because the gray block hides, and I'm clicking so fast it never comes up. So there we go. Now we can see hands. And they're moving like crazy. So in that general direction, this slice of the pie is going to be the industrial complex section, I think. I'm not quite certain how I want to do these different zones. I know the basic ideas of how I want to do the zones, but I'm not quite certain how I want to pull it off. But I'm like blabbing on and just showing you some stuff. I'm not really doing anything as per usual. This does need to get extended right here like that, because we will be able to see that tower edge right there. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm thinking about doing. I'm going to try and see if I can record this piece of software on a separate screen and get it into the video so that I can demonstrate to you what in the world I'm doing to figure out these angles. And I think I'm going to work on trying to make a section or a portion of this wall, at least maybe the gates. Maybe we can get the gates built. That would be great. See, I need, oh my gosh, I need about 100 anvils to get all of the gates built. Yeah, Piggy decided, hey, you know what would be cool? Let's build with anvils. That would be fun. And it would be fun if I was in creative mode. But I'm not. And somebody was hitting the server iron farm pretty hard because there's not a whole lot of iron over there to be had. And let's see here. I think I smelted down all of the, where is it? Here's some. I thought I saw some other anvils. Man, I wish this was like modded where I could type in anvil, hit the letter Y, and JEI would show me where anvils are. So I think that's all the anvils I've got is 36. Check this out. I was fighting spiders earlier in the desert. And I got a spider head. I want to see what this looks like. Yeah, crazy evil. Oh my gosh. So we'll just get, well, wait, you got to take it off before you can return it. You go right there. Don't have nothing to do with you, nasty evil spider head. So yeah, I've got to figure out a way to get a whole bunch more anvils, but I am going to see if I can get some of these gates built. I'll try and build at least some of them so you can get a basic idea of what they're going to look like. Hopefully I can get this software thing working because I really want to show you Piggy not falling down to his death and doom. I really want to show you how to do this angular stuff because once you figure it out, it's amazing. It's awesome. So hopefully cut to a different piece of software. It's not even Minecraft. And hopefully we'll be back over here where I will have some gates ready to show you the gates. Yeah. All right, everybody. So here we are. And this is what we're going to be working with. We're going to work with Blender. I'm using Blender 2.78a. I'm almost certain that there's a newer version because look at that date. Yeah, but I'm just doing some very, very basic things. So with the basic things, it'll be all right. We'll figure this out. So I have got my file right here that I've been working on, calling it Stairs and Slabs. I don't remember why I called it that, but that is what I was working on. Let's go ahead and swap over to this. Now, Blender itself, I'm not really going to do a tutorial on how to use Blender. Blender is one of these tools. It's free, it's open source. You never have to pay for it. And you can use it legally for all kinds of projects and stuff, and you won't get in trouble or anything like that. Yeah, look at that, look at that. And this is a tool that I've used off and on for quite some time. It takes a little getting used to. Once you learn how to use it, it's a very, very powerful tool for the price. Price being free. So what I've done, let's see if I can find the layers. Okay, so what I did was I created a Minecraft world. It's just a void world, very empty, and I placed in it some half slabs and some stairs. And then from there, I took another program. I have to remember what in the world the name of the program is. I will flash that up on screen, the name of the program. But what I did with that program was I used it to open up the Minecraft world that I had saved with just these items in it. I exported that to an OBJ file, which, if I am correct in thinking, let's see, file import, append import, .obj. Wavefront is the name of the program that uses a .obj. So you can import .obj files into Blender. And the really awesome thing is that it retains the textures from the game. So what I'm going to do over here is we're going to click on this and select texture. And now we can see, look at that. I actually have these items in this program that I can manipulate and work with. I'm going to right click on that, hit G for grab. I can actually move this around. I can hit D for duplicate. We can create multiples of it. Go ahead and get rid of that duplicate. So once I did this, I set these objects to line up perfectly with the grids that are in Blender. And that's going to be important because that's going to allow me to do things like when I duplicate it and hold down on Control, it's going to snap these objects to different grid lines. So it keeps everything perfectly uniform. Like if I've got it sliding around right here, I've got to sit here and meticulously try to get that stuff to line up, and it becomes a mess. But holding down Control, I can do this and I can snap it to place. Go ahead and delete that object as well since we duplicated it. So the first thing I did was I went onto a website called Plotz, Plotz.uk, and that website lets you... I actually left my character standing here from the last clip. Way to go, Piggy, way to go. So let's go ahead and log off. Okay, I was like, why in the world is Blender making noises like Minecraft? That's really strange. Oh my gosh, yeah, the derp that is me. So what I did is I went to Plotz.uk, and that is where I figured out the circular references that I needed. So this is the circle around the center hub, where the portal to the nether is right in here. And then I've got those, actually this is the edge of the road. The hub is a little bit closer in. And then that road is 5 blocks wide, and this is that edge. And then from this edge, I have my straight, well actually not this way, it's diagonal left, diagonal down. Those 6 roads going to this upper platform are right here. And so I drew these platforms as well. Now this helps me start angling and lining stuff up. Now the next thing I did was I created this. I created this object where it has lines. Let's select line version. So I have a line, and what I did is I duplicated it, and I'll show you. I'm going to duplicate this and drag it over here, and then I need to set my rotation point right here. So cursor to selection. So now I can rotate this off of this point if I make a duplicate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a duplicate of that line. See how we've got a dark black line here that's not selected? I've got one right here. So I've got that duplicated. I'll right click to let go of it. I'm going to hit rotate, type in the number 40, and hit enter. I just rotated that 40 degrees. See how easy that was? So go ahead and get rid of that. Actually, I don't need to. I'll just not save this file is what I'll do, and I won't have to worry about it. So what I did is I created lines and rotated them until I got them in 40-degree increments all the way around. Now, the way that I did this is a circle is 360 degrees. I needed 9 sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. But I don't need 9 lines. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, I do need 9 lines. Okay. I guess like a cat, 9 lives, 9 lines, whatever. So I got 9 lines. So what I did is I divided 360 by 9. That's 40. So that tells me I need 40-degree angles. That's how you do that. So go ahead and unselect that. So I made 40-degree angles converging to a central point. We'll turn on this layer now, and we can see that these lines overlay with my circles. So then what I did is I took one of these blocks and duplicated it and started drawing it along this area. Lining up first with this spot right here, and then going extruding out from there, and then making my road 5 blocks wide with an edge, and then doing the same thing along each angle. Now I got to remember which layer I put this on. So I've got another layer here. I rotated this 40 degrees. So see how this would be the straight road? Well, as this road goes to a section of the pie, that these angles have to come out to show the walls to separate each area. So I had to rotate this 40 degrees, and it's interesting because when you do that, you basically end up with a mirror image. Where I have a straight road here, I'm going to have a straight wall right here. Now, as I build more of the city, this is going to make a whole lot more sense. So right here is me drawing my angular roads following the angled lines. See how that did that? So we'll zoom in right here. This one's a little bit more complex. So basically what I had to do is start manipulating, placing blocks, and we'll do some right here just so you can see what I'm talking about. So I'm going to place, let's see, that would be, nope, let's do this. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Okay, so we'll just start building some more. So I'm going to go 1, 2, and then I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Now the way that I arrived at this is I started watching as I placed blocks and patterns. Could I repeat over and over again? See how this looks very similar to that? See how after 1, 2 you have a much larger triangle, and we have that right there. So it goes big, a little bit smaller, big, a little bit smaller. And you can see that this smaller is smaller than that. So extended over a long period of time, this is going to start to lose where I can duplicate over and over again. That'll be just fine. After I reach a certain point away from the center point, I'm not going to be too worried about it. What I wanted to do was find a very easy pattern that I could replicate. So like right here, it's 4 diagonals and then 2 blocks, 4 and 2. We repeat that over and over again. Something like this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, shift 1, 6, 1, 6, 1 over and over again. So that's how I figured out all of my angles. So once I got all that done, I went ahead and built this in a creative world just to make sure that everything worked. I went ahead and built my circles as well to make sure everything lined up. What is that? Checking that. Oh, this is where I'm starting to work on the lines for the actual walls. Because the problem is things are going to line up a little bit different. Like this is a road that's 5 blocks wide. I really don't know how wide I want my walls to be or anything like that. But yeah, and then this is cool. I can rotate it. So see right here, what I'd started doing was working on the angles of the roads and stairs and stuff, but it wasn't working out. And even when I tested in creative and built it and decided to leave vanilla, it was an uber utter ugly mess. So that is a very quick, basic explanation of how I figured out how to do all these angles. And by using this program and using a couple of these different things, you could figure out how to do some really cool stuff too. So if y'all figure out any cool things to use Blender for, just like I did, post it in the comment section below. Post links to videos and stuff. I'd love to see how y'all use different tools to help you work out your Minecraft projects and stuff. But now that we've gotten all this explained and everything, I'm going to go ahead and take us back over to the city so that we can take a look at how these gates are coming along. All right, so I'm going to shut all this down and get it saved, and I'll meet you back over on the server. And I'll put that right there and that right there. There we go. So you built them on the wrong side of the road. That's what happened. I went in and decided, you know what? Cockroaches are really good at climbing around on stuff and even like defying gravity. To me, that looks so much more like a cockroach, and ugh, just want to get away from it. Nasty, awful, evil. But from the back underside of the dystopia where everything's going to be disorderly and disgusting and yeah, you fit right in, buddy. So I have built a little bit of the wall. I wanted to just get a little bit of it done because I have no idea. Like, I'm recording this episode early in the week. So I'm going to see how much of this wall I can actually get built before I have to send out the video for YouTube. So, like, I'm filming this on a Wednesday, And this coming Monday morning, this video needs to be uploaded and ready to go. So we're going to see how much we can get done. But I decided I would kind of like avoid looking at it for a second. One, I haven't done this in a while, trolled the audience. But two, I wanted to figure out a way to make it where it was like a cool reveal. So you ready? Check that out. So it doesn't look like much right now. I still have quite a bit to do, but I wanted to do the east gate that was just going to be your regular normal shape for Minecraft, just exactly the way it should be built, all squared up in squares and everything. You can see where I'm using a whole lot of anvils. Now, I haven't filled in stuff. One, I'm trying to preserve materials or preserve or reserve, I don't know. I'm trying to only use the amount of materials I need to. Like in creative, I built everything, but in survival, I can only build what you'll ever see. So from right in here, I'm thinking about making maybe like a 3-block wide wall, and that will go on the outside of the wall I'm building. So basically what's going to end up happening is you won't see any of this. This part of the wall will block that off, which is cool because see how ugly and messed up that looks? Yeah, we're going for that. We're going for this look. Anywhere the dystopia is not supposed to, it's all supposed to be a facade, or people would say a facade, but it's supposed to be a facade. It's supposed to look beautiful on the outside, but it's all nasty and rotten on the inside. Yeah. So here we go. We got our first gate at the 40 degree. So we got 0 degrees there. 40-degree angle right here with a 40-degree angled road and a 40-degree angle gate. Now up close it kind of looks like a bit of a mess. I will confess it looks like a mess. But when you start to get away from it, it just, look, it starts to make sense. Now as I extend out this wall and as I build more of these, it's going to make more and more sense. It will start to look natural and normal. And what's really cool is, like, from standing right here, we're going to be able to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 gates. 5 out of 9 we can see. Now, I haven't tested all the way around, but I think for the most part, wherever we stand, we're going to be able to see a significant amount of the gates at any one time, which is awesome. Now, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's got to go along this top right here. I still have to fill in these areas right here. So we have the gates, the wall, the upper part of the wall, this area to fill in, and whoop, whatever's going to go right there. And then we will finally have just the introductory courtyard to the dystopian city built. Now, I'm going to I'll probably do it next episode, but I'm going to start extending this out and building because we need to get Piggles Pickles and we need to get Swine's Vines companies built and going so that we can supply Mr. Pixel Riffs. But I don't want to build too far out until we get this done. Like, I want to make it where as people come to visit, there's stuff that's finished. Right now, it's not dystopian. It looks like either an excavation site. You know what it looks like? It looks like a crazy spaceship crashed and fell apart and landed in the desert. That's what it looks like. So I tell you what I'm going to do. I really wish that Replay Mod was up and running so I could do a really cool time lapse. I don't have the time to swap back and forth between my camera account to film stuff because there's so much that has to be built and so many materials. Like where are they? It's one of these shulker boxes, I think. I just like threw everything in a box and loaded it up. I've got 1 anvil left. 1 anvil, and we've only built 2 gates. Yeah. And I have 7 more gates to go. So we got a ton of iron to collect. So I'm going to try and build as much as I can and bring you back. And hopefully I'll have at least enough where we could encompass standing here like an entire point of view, just so you can get the sense of like we're engulfed by a wall. So I am going to spend the next couple of days working on this, gather materials, and see how far I can get this thing to come along. And then hopefully I can bring you back and show you some really awesome progress so that we can have a semi-close to completed product for this episode, all right? So you'll just hang on a second for you, and several days for me. Check that out. Now that, oh my gosh, this is so cool. I'm loving this. And yes, I'm eating rotted flesh. I managed to go through just about all the food I had to build this, and I'm down to just rotted flesh. So it looks like we're going to need to come up with a way to get ourselves a sustainable food source going as well. Probably going to have to get a farm going for that. I know that we've got farms in town that I can use, but it's a little bit of the ways away, and it's all manual, and after a while it becomes more work and time than I've got to put forward to it. Yeah, it's a nice way of saying your farms are great, but Piggy's lazy and he wants a machine to make the farm for him, or make the food for him. So that's the way I'm going to have to do that. But this is coming along nicely. Now, like I said, I need an absolute ton of iron for anvils. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 gates that still need to have the anvils. And there's between 6 and 7 spaces each. So we could say at the max 14 anvils per gate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 42 more anvils. Plus a few right there. I apparently missed that spot right there. Way to go, Piggy. You broke everything. And I need to go to the nether and get myself another piece of glowstone. Because right now, we can see through the facade. We can see that this city is a sham. That it is not what it's presenting itself to be. Well, actually, there's a lot of holes in it right now. We'll ignore that fact. But what I've went ahead and done is started extending out my roads at their 40-degree angles and started working on the first circular road. So what's going to happen is we're going to come out into this road, and then I've got a circular road that's going to connect each of the pie slices for each of the cities. Not actual pie. That would be great. Then we would have a food source. But no, just like, you know, each of these areas being broken into sections or segments. So we've got the circular road right here when you first come into the city, a circular road there and here. So that makes it a little easy to navigate. And then as we get further out into each segment, I'm going to have a circular road that attaches all of those so that is easy to connect as well. So we'll come over here. I'm not quite certain. Like, I realize at some point that the size I want the city to be versus the amount of time I have to actually gather materials and build it, the amount of time I have available is probably what's going to cut me short from building it as large as I wanted. Because we can see right here, we are nowhere near those torches that are over there. I wanted the exterior wall to be that far away. But I'm thinking, because see, this does feel a little bit close. Now what I might end up doing is extending the wall out to like this. Like we'll make that the end of the road, like a little cul-de-sac or something. And then we can bring the wall maybe to somewhere right in here. And so that gives us a little bit of land from the edge of that to build something on as well. And these walls, they're going to, see that? That was my test. I wanted to see how tall that looked from afar. I built in creative mode an idea for a wall, but I wanted to make sure, oh, we're not too far from the torches here. Okay, that might work. That might actually work. That's weird. From down there, they looked like they were much further. It's about right in this area. Let's do this. Let's mark that, and so that way we know, and then I can do the math and figure out how far we are from it and extend. So we feel like we're far enough away from those walls that we will actually have a fairly decent amount of area to build, times 9. So yeah, I might have to start employing friends on the server to come over and help me build stuff at one point, just because it's going to get out of hand. I'm going to spend so much materials just trying to get all these walls built, which is crazy. But here's the other thing. This road. I've done something wrong. I thought I did the math correct and added it all up. And as I went all the way around, everything was lining up proper. Like the center point of the arc of the circle, where it starts to deviate and change, was lining up perfectly on all 4 sides. But now that I get here, I have 2 segments that need to go right there, and it's going to end up overlapping and being inside here. So I got a little bit of math to do. I got a few things to figure out, but this is really, really starting to take shape. You're going to be able to come into the city, see this awesome courtyard with something else that you don't even know is going to go there. It's going to go there, I promise you. And I got some more stuff to do with this wall as well, but yeah, I'm loving this. So I think that's going to be it for today. A little bit different, you know, we experimented. I showed off a different program, just so you can understand the methods to the madness that is Piggy and how he comes up with some of this crazy stuff. I'm going to make a run over here to town because I want to see, is there any iron available? Ooh. It despawned. No. I've been trying to gather up as much bone meal as possible just so that I can keep all these farms running. I've got the flour farm that's running, and pretty soon we're going to have Pickles, which also runs kind of like the flour farm does. We're going to use a design, I think Il Mango is the one that came up with it. We're going to use that design. It's a shifting floor design, just like the one we've got running for the flour farm. Look at this. Just swimming. I love this, that we can now swim in water. Oh, man. I'm much farther than I thought. I wanted to see if we could be on camera and go see how much iron there was. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to try and get over here. That's deeper than I want to go. I'm almost out of air. Come on, you Piggy. Your pigs are supposed to be able to be good swimmers, aren't they? How come I'm not swimming as fast as I would like? And we need Zloy to get over here and set up. Oh, what happened? I think I got near a conduit. Oh, good, and I'm not drowning. But yeah, Zloy was showing me, like, you can use dolphins, and it'll give you something called Dolphin's Grace, and it lets you swim very fast. So, Zloy, you need to get over here and set all that up, buddy, so that we can move around much quicker. That would be great. And I still don't know what that's supposed to be. I think somebody started building it and then forgot they were building it and ran off. Let's see. Drum roll. Fingers crossed. What? Oh, yes! Iron! Piggy raided the iron. Let's see, how many can we get? 1, 2, 3, 3. Okay, this is going to show y'all that don't know. So I need not 27 pieces of iron for 3 blocks. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. So 27 plus 4 is 41. So 41 pieces of iron to make 1 anvil. 1, 2, 3. And then an anvil. Look at that. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That should give us 3 more anvils. I don't know if I'm going to have... Yeah, so look at this. This is fun. Crafting with Piggy. You guys get to hang out and craft with me. That was fun. Oh my gosh. But yeah, okay, so that is the progress that we got going on with the base. We can finally designate an area where we can set up our vine farm, we can set up our pickle farm, we can get supply going for Pixel Rift's store, which is going to be super awesome. But if you enjoyed this episode, please click that like button. And if you want to see more of these as I release them, don't forget to subscribe. Click that notification bell so that YouTube knows you not only wanted to subscribe, but you do want to know when all the episodes come out. I just realized something. There's a plate with a fish, and there's taps so that we can get drinks. Mythical sausage, you're crazy. This is awesome. I love the detail. But thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next episode of Decidedly Vanilla.